Well, Kyle, I feel like my conspiracy for the day could even tie into your conspiracy.
Really?
Something that. Hold on. Let me acquire my hat. So I went for a pointed antenna look today with a side part.
Okay. Good hat.
This is what I would imagine like a young Amish child trying to contact a satellite would do or something like that. So that's kind of what I went for here. Now, I'm going to present something that might blow your mind, Kyle. Have you ever thought about the state lottery, the Powerball, and all that shit?
Yeah. I've always viewed it as like an additional way that the government taxes the poor.
So that may be true and that may be a component of it, but I think the reality of the lottery is a rigged system for the government to give money to informants or entities that they want to pay under the table, right?
Okay.
And the CIA is able to rig this system in any state in the country to effectively do whatever they want.
Okay.
Now, part of the reason I bring this up, there's a common kind of rumor going around social media right now saying over 40% of Powerball and major lottery winners are government affiliated.
Really?
Which I haven't been able to find any evidence about.
Okay.
But what I have found during my little conspiracy research is kind of fucked up.
What'd you find?
So in 2008, Jeffrey Epstein,
Epstein,
the top of the pedophile leaderboards,
yeah, he's
was
up there.
sentenced to prison in Florida for being a pedophile. He literally got sent to prison for soliciting minors in 2008, way before any of the recent stuff happened, where he ended it all in prison.
The diddler main boss.
Whatever. Yes, in Florida in 2008, he was sentenced to prison.
Okay.
For a good amount of time for soliciting minors, among other charges. That was like one of the main charges that he faced. A day after he started his prison sentence, less than 24 hours after he was in a jail cell in Florida, an entity called the Zoro Trust claimed an $85 million Powerball ticket in Oklahoma. The drawing, which normally is on television, they pull all the numbers for the Powerball. They do. Have you ever seen the Powerball on TV?
I've never watched it live, but I've seen videos. And
My
stuff
dad
of
used
it,
to get a Powerball ticket every week. We'd watch that shit. It was late as fuck at night. I remember that. But normally they do it on TV. They have like one of the girls in a little dress, and she's like, "Here's our numbers for the week." For some reason, on this week in 2008, there was a computer glitch, so they were not able to televise the drawing, yet somehow they still pulled numbers.
Okay.
Now, the Zoro Trust in Oklahoma gets $85 million. Jeffrey Epstein owned a property in New Mexico called the Zoro Ranch.
Okay.
And that ranch is owned by a trust company called the Zoro Trust, which is the same name of the entity that claimed the $85 million lottery prize in Oklahoma. Now, personally, I feel like this was a bribe for something. As we've seen now with all these, the Epstein book and all these document releases, clearly he had blackmail on a lot of very influential people.
Right.
I think it's reasonable to draw a conclusion that this could have been a payment for his silence in this scenario.
I see. Yeah.
How did a man like this, who went to jail for soliciting minors in Florida, get back out to do it again? And have an entity sharing the same name as him, which is highly unusual, claim an $85 million Powerball ticket that couldn't be televised because of a computer glitch. That's a lot of coincidences falling into place at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lottery, I mean, this is my main reason that I believe the lottery is riggable and the CIA is behind the rigging of the lottery. They pay assets. Jeff Epstein probably had dirt on a lot of people. It might be in the government agency's interest to shut that guy up, or things could get very questionable in this country. Now, the reason I say this is riggable is not just because I think it is or because it looks like Zoro Trust might have rigged the lottery, but because in 2015, there was a dude named Eddie Tipton. and he was a former employee of the Multi-State Lotto Association, which operates in 34 out of 50 states here in the U.S. If you buy a Powerball ticket in 34 of the 50 states, someone like Eddie Tipton is behind the machine that chooses your numbers. Now, he got caught for rigging the drawings, and he actually, after getting arrested for rigging one of the drawings, confessed to rigging drawings in 5 different states: Iowa, Colorado, Wisconsin, Kansas, and Oklahoma. The reason I bring this up is because a lot of people think the lottery isn't riggable. They think like, oh, it's quantum computing pulls the numbers, like it's not riggable. Motherfucking Eddie Tipton did it for all his homies, his whole bloodline in 5 different states. Now, he got convicted for rigging $14.3 million worth of lotteries, Kyle. And after being sentenced officially to 25 years in prison, he got out on parole after serving only 5. He served less than 25. He served less than a quarter of his full sentence and got out of prison.
Interesting.
Why did he get out so early?
Do you know, like, was he, what kind of prison did he go to? Was it one of those, like, cozy,
I have no
like,
idea.
billionaire prisons where they're, like,
I would
still getting
imagine,
room
since this
service or
guy
something?
is a nonviolent offender who just, like, was working a day job, probably one of those type of jails.
Yeah.
Because there's different type of prisons. I mean, some people, you know, you go to the places where you're on solitary and people are throwing shit through the window in the cell next to you.
Right.
Then you go to the ones where it's like a dorm and there's no fucking barbed wire.
And you don't
around
even
it.
have a cellmate or whatever.
Yeah, like you're just chilling. I have no idea where he went, but what I do know is he proved publicly for the first time that the lottery is 100% riggable. You can manipulate the lottery. That was something that previously, until Eddie Tipton got arrested, was thought impossible.
Wow.
He proved you can actually do that. And the interesting part about the multi-state lottery is the Multi-State Lottery Association, where Eddie Tipton worked, the man who rigged all these lotteries in 34, 50 states. Somehow they're a nonprofit and a government benefit association, despite selling millions of dollars worth of lottery tickets annually. They somehow don't turn a profit on that, and they turn such little money that the government sponsors them. Right. The government gives them grants to continue operating and helps fill their jackpot payouts.
Well,
what's going on with that?
And it's always, I've always personally thought it's been ridiculous how much like of a lottery payout just ends up getting paid in taxes.
Goes back to the government,
right?
Yeah.
And especially because you're always given, in my understanding, you're given an option between like an immediate payout and then a payout over time, which is what your like full amount would be, like after tax or whatever.
Get taxed until you die is
but
the American
then
motto.
they give it to you like a month at a time or whatever, versus you can take like half of the total winnings immediately, and then it gets taxed also like cut in half again. So if you win like $1 billion lottery, your take home pay is like $250,000, or it's like $250 million.
Way less than half. Yeah.
Right.
You get fucked on that.
Right. So I always kind of viewed the lottery as just like a way the government kind of scams like us as citizens, just because, you know, yeah, they have to give some lucky dude like $250 million, but they're taxing like, I mean, their take home from that is 3/4. So I've never actually really like thought of it in like a money laundering kind of way, but that does make a lot of sense as well.
I mean, it's a way for, think about it, if a government asset needs compensation or like some sort of really fucked up government shit needs funding.
Right.
That's a great way for the government to effectively money launder.
Right. Right.
A lotto winner. Woo, $900 million. Yeah, go do whatever the fuck you want with that. We'll look the other way.
Yeah.
You know? We'll look the other way. Doesn't matter. I want to take my tinfoil hat off, dude. It keeps falling off my head, and I've been fighting for my rights the whole time, pal. So I'm going to take mine off.